just waiting a little bit until it queues up, because when you start it, it doesn't quite get it. Anyway. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Overwatch console button mapping guide. Does that mean we got a new character? You bet it does. You bet it does. This is Ashe. This is Ashe. She is, oh gosh, what was her real name? Normally I have it, but I don't this time. Anyway, Ashe is a nickname, but she is the leader of the Deadlock Gang. And McCree was part of the Deadlock Gang, and there's a very famous short, all sort of centering around Dorado, or not Dorado, but Route 66, and had Ashe in it, and her partner Bob. So, Your Too Long Didn't Read for this one. I'm keeping everything default. Coach gun on the left side, Dynamite on the right side. You could swap those two things around, but you don't have to. Let's get into our kit. Okay, first up is this gun here. This is the first true aim down sights character, or ADS. You might see it on the internet as ADS, but it stands for aim down sights. And this is what all of Destiny's characters are, aim down sights. So you can shoot the gun like normal, and then you can also aim down sights for a more powerful and more accurate shot. So let's get into it. Her gun is called the Viper. Shooting it unscoped, it's going to be on the right trigger, of course. It's a semi-automatic hit scan, so if I pull the trigger, it will not fire continuously. Okay. It does 40 damage on a 40 damage on a shot or hit. Got it. Or 80 on a headshot. So 40 on a normal, 80 on a headshot. It has a fall-off range of 20 to 40 meters, and its minimum that it will be ever is 20. So if you're outside that 40 meter range and you're trying to hit somebody from the hip, this is called from the hip. Then it's, minimum damage is going to be 20. Rate of fire is 4 rounds a second. It will go as fast as you pull it. Her reload speed now, it's a half a second for the initial twirling of the gun, and then 0.3 seconds for every bullet. So if you're loading every bullet, it's 4 1/4 seconds long. So it's the longest reload, but it's also the only one that you could stop mid clip if you wanted to. So see, I'm going to reload it, and then I'll press the so I reload it, and I can press the aim down sights button, and it'll stop. And see how it's still at 7. I can start it again, and I can shoot, and it'll stop it. So one trigger pull to stop it, and then another trigger pull to do what you actually want to do. Now let's talk about her second, get rid of this guy. Talk about the second bit, which is scoped. So you hold L2 or left trigger, and you will scope it in. It will also change the way your reticle looks, so that's kind of neat. Damage will be 85 on a body shot or 170 on a headshot. Look at that headshot. Man, that is brutal. So get a headshot and a body shot and call it a day. Let me see here. The range on this is longer when you're aiming down sights, 30 to 60 meters. You have 20% less movement speed, as you can see. You can fire 1.4 rounds per second, so a lot shorter as I'm pulling it as fast as possible. And then, of course, we know it has 12 ammo. So let's take a look at Dynamite. Dynamite is on right bumper, or R1. You throw out Dynamite, and it explodes in a radius that is it going to tell me the radius? I don't have the radius. Sorry about that. So you throw the Dynamite. It does two things. One, it inflicts explosion damage, which is an impact damage, I would call, and then it has a burning effect over time. So you throw it, and so it explodes, and they take 30 to 75 impact damage, and then they'll take 100 burn damage over time. It takes that 100 burn damage over 5 seconds. You can hurt yourself for half that amount. It says it has a 2-second casting time, which is just the animation that it takes to throw. So that's 2 seconds to throw it. And when you throw it, it actually will throw out straight, so you can hit the thing. Let's see if I can try it here. So not moving anything. So if I say throw and shoot, oh, it wasn't fast enough. The dynamite has a special thing to it, which is if you shoot the dynamite, it will explode early, and it doesn't confer any bonus with the exception of blast radius. There it is. Cool. Let's see, her coach gun now. Let's talk about her coach gun. Her coach gun, she pulls out a gun sort of from her hip and shoots it. Boom! We have fun here. Let's see, it will do 90 damage in total. It does 6 damage per pellet, 15 pellets. Pew! It has the dynamite has a 10-second cooldown, by the way. Her coach gun also has a 10-second cooldown. They've all got 10-second cooldowns. It will knock your enemy back 9 meters. It will also knock you back 9 meters as well. So it's really great for getting to those really high to reach places. Like, that is quite a bit. I've heard that you shooting at the ground is a lot more beneficial than you shooting horizontally. So you could also shoot at an angle, I believe. I should try that out. See if I could shoot at an angle. So it does work at an angle, so that's kind of nice. Now let's talk about our ultimate, which is the funnest part about our kit. It's Bob. Bob is an extra character, and it's officially being tagged as an extra character, and as an extra character, you can do a lot of things with Bob. This is what Bob can do, sort of right out the gate. Pretty much anything that a character does that you can think of. He can contest points, he can be healed, he can be nanoed, he can be boosted, naded, can be waved to. We'll demonstrate that because that's probably the funnest part. He can be stunned, he can be hacked, which is devastating. It'll just kill Bob for the entire duration if a summer gets a hack off on him. And Bob can be slept as well. He has 1200 HP. He comes out and charges, and when he charges, if he hits you, he knocks you up and deals 120 damage. And then he has these arm cannons, machine guns that come out of his arms, and they shoot at 112 damage per second, 14 damage per bullet, and will do 1,092 damage over the life of the ult. Now, that's not including if you use Arisa's Supercharger, Mercy's Boost Beam, and Ana's Nano. What's it called? Nano Boost. So if you did all of those, it would be significantly much more damage. Bob will last 10 seconds after he collides with a surface or an enemy, whichever comes first. So if you send Bob and he just runs across an entire map, he's just going to go until he hits a wall, and he'll exist that entire time. So if it takes 20 seconds for him to get there, great. It'll be 20 seconds until he gets there. But then once he stops, 10 seconds to do his damage. Because he only does 1,092 damage over the entire duration, a Reinhardt could just stand there with a shield and call it a day. So.
Bob, do something! Right on schedule. Hey. Hey.
Oh, there he goes. So anyway, that's Ashe. Let's just talk about a little bit more controller settings. So the ultimate is on triangle or Y. The coach gun, I put it on the left side because it's mobility primarily. The dynamite, it's on the right side, so that way you can throw it accurately and shoot it. and then yeah, so that's all pretty normal. I'm gonna go into the controls here for Ashe. I've changed them a little bit. They're not perfect, but there is something that I do want to talk about. So on your sensitivity here, put that at whatever you want it to be. But then this here, aim assist legacy mode. Aim assist legacy mode is what it was in the past, but they updated it recently, and for hit scans, it's very good. So turn it off for your hit scans. And you could do it for your regulars too. So it's aim assist ease in. This is the new setting. So if you have a hit scan hero, you want to turn it up really high. If you have a projectile hero, turn it down kind of low. So yeah, that's what I've got going on with the controller settings. Just kind of come up here for a good shot at the end here. So anyway, thank you all very much for joining me, watching me. I did see some comments come in. Put those down in the regular comments so that way I can actually see them, or I'll try to rewatch the video tomorrow to answer those. But anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and have fun out there.